Hi, and welcome to Coffee with Connie. Today we have a very special voice guest star.
I am the Biscuit, and I'll be joining you today.
So the Biscuit's voice will be joining us today. Sorry about that, my voice is going in and out. So please excuse my voice today. Yes, the Biscuit is here with his voice.
I am
So,
the Biscuit, and I will be here just in voice only.
so let us know if you can hear us okay or not. This is the first time that two of us have been mic'd up going live. I tested it before the live, so it appeared to be working, but now that I'm live, I just want to double check. Yeah, his back has been bugging him, so it was much easier for him to just be comfortable in the living room and mic up and just have his voice instead of being on the live.
And since I have a history with mics not picking me up, please let me know if my voice is not coming through.
So this is kind of like I'm not used to doing a live like this, so please bear with me. All right. So today we're going to be talking about Louisiana dishes on today's live. And that's a lot of the reason why the Biscuit is here. He has a lot of knowledge he can share. His grandmother used to have a restaurant that served Cajun dishes. But anywho, I want to welcome everyone that is here with us now. If you are here, leave a comment. Let us know you're here. Let me know what you're drinking, what you've been working on, any plans for the weekend. And I also want to welcome those that will be watching on replay. So if you do watch the replay, let us know, leave a comment. And on today's live, there will be chances to get extra entries into March's giveaway. I will pick some people towards the peak of the live, and then towards the end of the live, there'll be a chance on the replay also. All right, let's see who's here. We have Beverly here. Howdy, howdy. And Angela. She's drinking water, still working on her scarf. Janet and Cheryl's here. Howdy, howdy. Cheryl is excited about the biscuit's voice.
So it is coming through, right?
Yeah, you're good, Bisky. And we have Dawn here. Howdy, howdy. And Moonrise. I'm so happy to see everyone. I hope y'all all having a fabulous weekend. Janet says she's drinking water and coffee. I had my coffee earlier. Now I'm drinking water with peach. I think it's peach and mango. No, it's strawberry mango. Strawberry mango. Cheryl has Monster in her cup. And Dee Marie's Crochet is here. And she's enjoying the morning. And she says, thank goodness we don't have any bad weather. So who has been having bad weather? We really haven't gotten much. I think it rained a little. It's been a little windy, but nothing that major. Just enough to irritate your allergies. Yeah, you didn't miss much, Heidi. Howdy, howdy, Heidi. And GrannyDee. I'm so glad to see y'all. And Heidi says she has iced coffee. And the Biscuit had his coffee this morning.
I did.
It was the Walmart brand.
Yeah, regular Walmart brand.
He likes community coffee the best. Tell them about your love for community coffee.
It's good stuff.
I think he's shy. The Biscuit can be shy. But yeah, we're going to be talking about Louisiana foods. Now, one thing a lot of people don't always realize Louisiana does not have counties. We have parishes, which is really the same thing, but we just call it parish. And it has to do with the history as a French and Spanish colony. But yeah, we got to be different. Isn't that right, Biscuit?
Yep, we got to be different.
Oh, your number one fans here, Biscuit.
Oh, hello.
Julie's here. I'm so glad you're here, Julie. How have you been feeling? Heidi says, I live on coffee, but I drink fire department coffee. Don't see the link. Oh, Julie's definitely happy to hear your voice, Frank.
Hello, Julia. And for all those else who I can't see who are in, hello to everybody that's here.
Yeah, he cannot see the chat where he's at. Oh, I'm glad you're doing better, Julie. So glad to hear that. So, have y'all ever had true Louisiana cuisine before? You know, like eaten Louisiana food in Louisiana? Because one thing, a lot of times, other states, they'll call it like Louisiana, like a Louisiana dish. But typically, unless it's cooked by someone that's from Louisiana or they know someone that lives in Louisiana that taught them how to cook the dish, it's typically not true Louisiana cuisine. And one thing that tends to happen a lot of times, and this is a misconception about Cajun food. A lot of people think it's spicy, and it really isn't that spicy.
It's not about spice. It really isn't.
And sometimes you'll see like other recipes, they'll put like a lot of cayenne pepper and a lot of heat spice, but it's about the
savoriness of
yeah.
It's more of a garlic, onion, and other seasonings.
And that's what we call it, the Holy Trinity: garlic, onions, and bell pepper. And
actually, it's onions, bell pepper, and celery, but it depends on certain areas. Some people use celery, some use other things, but nobody uses tomatoes. It's a thing here.
Yeah, you don't add tomatoes to gumbo. But yeah, celery is one that's kind of optional. A lot of that depends on if you like celery or not. All right, let's see.
We got that from the Italians. The Italians usually used to use carrots, but since carrots don't grow down here that well, we switched to celery, which does grow well down here.
So we have Maniela that joined us. Hi, Maniela. So glad to see you. Ooh, Heidi wants to whisper about you, Frank.
Whisper, whisper.
And let's see, Dee Marie and Heidi says they haven't had true Louisiana cuisine. And let's see. GrannyDee says that she thinks that her eldest, Lindsay, lived in New Orleans for 10 years. So I've had some of your cuisine. Love most things except crawfish.
Now, you'll find that some areas of Louisiana, within Louisiana, differ from other areas. New Orleans is not Louisiana, and Louisiana is not New Orleans, but they can mix.
Yeah, and the biscuit's allergic to crawfish, so I don't get to eat crawfish hardly ever. But really, it's been a while since I've had seafood. Quite a while. Too long. Crawfish and lobster, it's kind of similar.
Lobster is usually the larger of the crustaceans, whereas shrimp, crawfish, Well, really, those two are the only ones we really eat in any good amounts down here. We do have other, like prawns, but those are a rarity.
Let's see. Heidi says, I find the same problem with German foods. I am half German and half Tennessee redneck. I enjoyed a great variety of foods growing up.
Now, the Germans actually did give us some smoked meats, sausages, and other preserved meats that we melted into our pot, as it were.
See, the biscuit's smart. He knows a lot about all these things, and I'm like, how do you know all this stuff?
Experience.
And like sometimes famous people, you know how typically you can't pronounce their names? He can. But yeah, he tends to know a lot more. He knows a lot more about Cajun culture than I do. I'm from South Louisiana, Houma, and he's from Central Louisiana, Eunice, which is where we now both live. But yeah, and some of the culture between South and Central is different.
We're called Acadians, or Cajuns for short. We're from this area of Nova Scotia that was expelled, and I'm not going to get into that for the reasons. And then from there, they were who were already here in Louisiana, as well as the Native Americans and the Haitians from Africa and South America and all that. We really are a melting pot in this area.
South Louisiana's the best, though. And another misconception, a lot of people think there's nothing south of New Orleans. That's not true because where I'm originally from, Houma, is southwest. It's like 50 miles southwest of New Orleans. Let's see. Cheryl says she grew up on Oklahoma and Texas cooking. Ooh, I love Texas tacos. Ooh, good. Remember when we had those tacos at the truck stop?
Yeah, I think that was in Nuevo Laredo.
Those were good.
That
Julie,
cheese was good. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah, we used to look forward to when we would go to the truck stop there. We would always get the tacos. Let's see. Julie says she hasn't had any. Cheryl said, went out with my kids were little. We caught crawdads even here in Oregon. Yeah, I've gone crawfishing. It's fun to go crawfishing.
Now you said crawdads. Now we call them crawfish down here. So now some tend to think of it as crayfish, but it's kind of a claw version of craw. That's where it comes from.
But it's fun catching crawfish. Put the nets out. But I was a teenager the last time I did that. GrannyDee loves lobster tail, and Manuela loves lobster too. Heidi says I can go from making fried chicken dumplings and cornbread with a nice sweet tea to sauerkraut and sour braten. I'm not sure how to say that, and a good German beer one day after another.
Deutsche Bell.
Oh, I'm mispronouncing more than I thought.
Well, I tend to add inflections sometimes where it's not necessary.
Oh, okay. Beverly saying yummy to lobster. But yeah, oh, and another thing too with Louisiana, we have lots and lots of bridges. Whenever Barbara with Crochet Therapy came to Louisiana, she was commenting about the amount of bridges.
Our bridges will scare you.
And one of the scariest bridges is the Huey P. Long. It's very narrow. And like especially if you're in like a bigger vehicle, it's scary. Because there's not like much like leeway. And it's a long bridge too. Our bridges are long. Now in South Louisiana, we're full of bayous. And basically you have like your main two ways on the highway, and you have a bayou in between. So you have these little bridges that get you on the other side of the bayou. And then some areas in South Louisiana, you have the boats that pass through, and the bridge has to open up for the boat to pass, kind of like a train passing. But in some areas, they ended up having to build a big overpass so the boats could pass without having to close the road.
So simply put, our infrastructure faces the challenges of being intracoastal Gulf state.
Yeah, because that was one thing at home. The traffic would just get too backed up, and then they had to do stuff to fix the problems. All right, let's see. Cheryl says her grandma was German heritage, so she fed us that great food. Ooh, nice. And Mateo joined us. Howdy, Mateo. How are you today? Oh, and Heidi said that she came from, I don't know how to pronounce it, Stuttgart, Germany. She went to Germany when she was 12 and she misses it. That's awesome.
Stuttgart.
See, Frank can say it. Oh, GrannyDee went along the long bridge when she used to have to drive going to visit Lindsay. It went across part of Lake Pontchartrain, she thinks.
The name escapes me at the moment, but yeah, the Pontchartrain River is definitely a sight.
Yep, long bridges.
I think we held the world's record for the world's longest overwater bridge for like 70 some odd years. I could be mistaken on the numbers, but interesting.
Cool. And let's see, we have Charity that joined us. Howdy, Charity. How are you today? Yeah, that's one thing. A lot of times when we have some of our experiences, you look back on it and you're like, that would be a totally different experience if you were older when you did it. And I think a lot of times, I think we would have like in a sense, I can't find the words what I'm trying to say. But I know, like, for instance, whenever I was in the Navy, some of the things that I could have experienced and done, there's things that I regret where now I would have like taken advantage of anything and everything that I could have. But sometimes when you're young, you don't think the same way. Hopefully I'm making sense. Yeah, GrannyDee, he can be intellectual. Professor Biscuit, I like that. You like that?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to adopt that now, aren't I? Professor Biscuit.
And if I look off to the side, that's because Frank's on this side, and I just kind of naturally do that because he's talking and I hear him from that direction.
And sometimes I don't know when to jump in.
Yeah, it is harder because I don't see him on the screen and he can't see me. So if we talk over each other, we're sorry.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt, but sometimes it happens.
Let's see. Heidi says, but Aunt Lise and Uncle Gottlob might not have been there because of their age. Yeah, that's a good point. Charity says she's listening while working on Little Man's Blanket. I went to Germany when I was little and don't remember it. Ooh, awesome. All right. So y'all ready to do some giveaways for extra entries? we're going to go ahead and do that. And then when we get done with that, we're going to start talking about Louisiana food. All right, so let me get Mr. Nightbot up. And the biscuit can be our cheerleader.
Cheerleader, yay! Woo, go Nightbot.
Let's see, where is it? All right, I'm getting everything situated. Just bear with me. Oh, I'm trying to hit the wrong buttons. All right, since we're going to be talking about food, the key word is yummy. And this is for 5 extra entries into March's giveaway. I'm going to pick 3 people randomly. And then at the end, I'll pick another 3. And then it might be more based on if I get any super chats or channel memberships today. So yummy is the keyword for 5 extra entries. Oh, Heidi wants to see your pom-poms, Biscuit.
Oh, I got pom-poms? I didn't know I had pom-poms.
You don't have any. Let's see, Dawn says she was raised with a melting pot of foods, including going to cafes. Ooh, cafes. So I love cultural foods, Russian, German, Mexican, Norwegian, and American cafes.
Yeah, buying local. There's a thing.
Yeah, one of the popular cafes in New Orleans is Cafe Du Monde, where you have the coffee and the beignets. All right. Oh, you got groceries yesterday? Yeah, we had a grocery order come in yesterday. All right, we have 12 entries so far. Yummy is the key word. But yeah, that's one thing, like with the super chats and channel memberships, I don't ever want anyone to feel like they have to. It's only if you can and you want to. You know, there's other ways you can help support my channel, watching my videos. If you have some spare time, watch some of my older videos, liking my videos, commenting, sharing. All that stuff is awesome sauce. All right. It looks like we're holding still. So let's count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and good luck. Congratulations, Julie Chaffee Maza, the Biscuits #1 fan.
Well, congratulations, Julie.
She calls herself that too, yeah.
Yeah, it's a self moniker. We did not appoint her my biggest fan, no.
And by the way, Julie, pumpkin spice rules. I had to do it. I had to. All right. Next up, Lady Crochet, Manuela. Congratulations, Manuela. You get 5 extra entries into Morch's giveaway. And if y'all haven't entered on the giveaway, be sure to enter. It's called Spring is in the Air. That automatically gets you 1 entry into the giveaway. All right, and the last person for right now, good luck, is Janet. Congratulations, Janet. You get 5 extra entries too. All right. So do y'all want to do some pattern giveaways, or do you want me to wait till the end of the live to do some pattern giveaways? Let's see what everyone's said, if I missed anything. This month, it's ice yarn. I don't remember the exact name of the yarns, but it's pretty. It's pretty yarn. I know if I was entering a giveaway, I would want to win this yarn. Hi, Arrow Lover. How are you doing today? Yeah, let us know what y'all been working on, what y'all drinking, any plans for the weekend. Okay, I'm gonna wait to do patterns towards the end today. Yeah, funny thing is today's topic isn't crochet. We're talking about food today. All right. So basically how we start off a lot of our dishes is by making a roux. And a roux is taking equal parts oil and flour.
Just flour, not the self-rising kind.
Yeah. And you want it to come out like real chocolate brown.
If you can, aim for darker than peanut butter.
Yeah.
And I moved my mic down a little bit further, so I'm not actually holding it. So if my voice is kind of messed up, let me know.
Janet got 5 extra entries into March's giveaway. Hi, Michael. How you doing today? So glad to see you. All right. I'm going to pull up a picture. And you see right here, that's what a roux looks like. And if you look to the far right, that's about how dark you want it to get. You want it chocolate brown. And then normally from there, you add either water or chicken broth. Chicken broth is more flavorful. And that's how it kind of starts making like the gravy. And that's how like we start off our gumbo, our stews. And there's some other dishes too that starts off with a roux. But the funny thing is, whenever Tank had said that she likes to dip beignets in roux, I'm thinking of it just like in the flour and oil form, and that does not taste good. Because if you don't mix up the roux good enough, sometimes you'll get the little ports in your gravy, and if you taste it, it's nasty, it's yuck. Yeah, but as a gravy, it does taste good to like dip bread in it and stuff like that. Sometimes I do that with toast. Miss Bandit doesn't want you to work on little man's blanket. Aw, she wants attention. Sweet baby. Little Ollie, he's been something else today. He saw a bug and he just starts meowing at it. He was stalking that bug. Then later on, he gets in the living room chair, gets all nice and comfortable. He looked very content and happy, and he was watching TV. And then when the biscuit went to sit down, he didn't want to leave. He was disappointed that the biscuit was taking the chair from him. Let's see. Yeah, GrannyDee is a sweetie. We all love GrannyDee. Go, GrannyDee. Come on, Bisky.
Go, GrannyDee.
Heidi says the funny thing about my heritage is my mom is from Knoxville, Tennessee, and daddy is from Germany, and they met and married in Detroit. Nice. See, my dad was from Arkansas, and then he ended up in Louisiana because he was in the Air Force. He got stationed in Houma. And then my mom grew up, in Louisiana, but my mom's heritage is Swedish. My grandfather was a pure sweet, pure Sweden. Now you can do like a white sauce, because there are dishes that you don't make the roux as door.
That's called a beurre blanc, where you basically take the flour and you cook it down, but you keep the fire so low that it actually cooks the flour white. And you can use it for like desserts and other dishes like that.
Now you can do a form of roux with butter and flour. You see that more with the étouffée. Étouffée is usually butter and flour.
Yeah, if you think white flour, if you think white roux, think milk, which is étouffées, Alfredos, and desserts.
And with étouffée, you don't make the roux dark. You're not doing a dark roux for étouffée. Arrow Lover saying fettuccine Alfredo and macaroni and cheese.
Yep, you can do it that way.
And then one of our favorite dishes is jambalaya, which is a rice-based dish. And you could either do a seafood jambalaya or a chicken and sausage jambalaya. And you can, there's other levels you can play with it a little. Some people put pork in their jambalayas.
Right. The meat is pretty much irrelevant as long as you let it brown and let the meat sauce, the jus, flavor the rice.
And that's one thing, like the browning, with the meats, that's what really gives it flavor. We like to brown our meat.
The French call that le fond, which is basically the foundation.
But yeah, jambalaya, it's basically the rice, the meat. You do your holy trinity, your garlic, onion, bell pepper, if you want celery. We normally do chicken broth, but you can do water. Chicken broth that's more flavorful, and your seasoning. And our favorite, like the favorite seasoning for that most people from Louisiana like, is Tony's. And it's basically a seasonal. I'll pull it up on Walmart.com so you can see what Tony's looks like.
Yeah, we have other versions of all seasonal stuff.
Yeah. There's other versions too. But you hear about Tony's the most. See, that's Tony's. And it's actually based in Opelousas.
That's right.
Which, how far is Opelousas?
About 30 miles west.
Yeah, it's not that far from us. But basically the ingredients, it's salt, red pepper, Creole spices, garlic, black pepper, and chili powder.
Now, when it comes to spices, we tend to prefer cayenne over black pepper because we just can't grow pepper seeds down here.
We love our cayenne pepper.
I meant peppercorn, sorry.
I like food spicier than Frank. So normally, like, I end up like adding cayenne to my dish because like Frank can't handle the level of heat I can. All right, a light roux, is it similar to white gravy that we eat with biscuits?
Very much.
But it really, I don't find it tastes the same. I don't know. It's like a different atmosphere. But it is basically, similar.
It's more milk and butter than oil and flour.
And GrannyDee says, "Yep, I used to make a roux for lasagna." Ooh, lasagna. And Heidi says, "My captain on Charlotteton's fire department made that when we were on shift." Ooh, nice. Beverly has never had Louisiana food. Ooh, Janet puts Tony's on her pizza. And Charity saying Tony's is good in guacamole. I make my own guacamole. See, I didn't know how much Tony's is sold in other areas. But it looks like they do sell it in other states. But that's basically what a jambalaya is. I didn't forget anything, did I? For the ingredients?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't use it, so.
No, I was talking about jambalaya.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Tony Sastries. My bad.
Yeah, we don't use Tony's anymore because I have to watch my sodium. And even though they do make the salt-free version, there's an ingredient in it that Frank cannot handle.
It's called sodium dioxide, and it does all kinds of stuff to my liver.
So, like, we use Mrs. Dash when we cook. Let's see, we have Sherry that joined us and Heidi with an eye. So glad to see y'all. Howdy, howdy. Janet likes Tony's on French fries too. All right. And another thing that we love here in Louisiana is crawfish boils. And basically, like, you catch your crawfish, and typically people add corn on the cob.
Potatoes.
Yeah.
Russet potatoes.
Yeah. The potatoes, sausage, onions, and you boil it, and we have what you call we call it crawfish boil, and it's like seasoning.
Now, what we have is not the same thing as Old Bay. There's a difference.
Yeah. And there's either the liquid version or the powder type version. And see, this is a big jar of it, Zatarain's crawfish boil. And then there's a liquid form. See, here's a liquid right here. But usually, we put that in the water when we boil it. And it's good. Good, 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 good. And I do suck the heads of crawfish.
And that's not being, nasty. It's the special juices.
Yeah, the juice is good when you do that. But and I love the onions. I love the flavor the onions get. But yeah. No, I don't eat the potatoes, but I eat the corn on the cob and the sausage and the onions. Charity says, that sounds good, but I'm not eating potatoes. Oh yeah, good eats, huh? No, I've never done low country boil with lobster. Yeah, and we don't really use Old Bay down here, seasoning. But we like the crawfish boil. That's the main thing everyone uses. And then we had talked about étouffée some, and with the étouffée, that's a tomatoey dish.
Yeah, that we're good with tomatoes on.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we kind of recommend you put tomatoes in there.
And you do a light roux with butter and flour. It's very good. I haven't had that in a long time. I need me some Cajun dishes. And then gumbo. We find any reason to have gumbo down here.
It's raining, we make a gumbo. It's cold, we make a gumbo.
Even in hot weather, it don't stop us. But It's like a tradition that most people, the first cold front that we get, most people tend to make a gumbo. We love our gumbo for the first cold spell. But with gumbo, you want that chocolate brown roux, and basically you brown your meats. Well, that is if you're doing like chicken sausage, but you can also do a seafood gumbo, and you add your holy trinity, your onion, garlic, bell pepper, and if you want celery, your broth. Now, normally you kind of do I find it's better to do a combination of broth and water, but I find you want broth because it's more flavorful. And then your seasoning. And did I leave anything out?
You left out okra.
Oh, yeah.
Okra is one of those weird vegetables that we have down here that some people swear by it, some people avoid it like the plague. Some people say okra makes the oil that makes the gumbo taste nasty. Others say the oil makes the gumbo taste better. There's really no one or the other with that. Some people like it, some people don't.
Yeah, so it's one of those things, some people put it in their gumbo, some people don't. One of the things that like people tend not to like about okra, it can get slimy when you cook it. I used to not do okra, but now I do like okra in a gumbo, but I don't, it depends on my mood if I want okra or not. Hopefully that makes sense. Honey says okra is gross. I don't like eating hairy veggies. That's funny. Janet says she has not eaten crawfish. And Beverly says, I am originally from the southern end of New Jersey near the seashore. We always had seafood boil, and yes, it was made with Old Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is catfish in Louisiana. Actually, my dad has some type of record with the largest caught catfish. Oh yeah, I had catfish a lot growing up. My dad was really big into fishing. My dad and my oldest brother. So we had fish all the time. And then we would be giving fish like to everybody because my dad caught so much fish. Yeah, okra is good for you. Heidi says, I like fried okra. I love growing it because the flowers are pretty. Now, whenever I was trying to garden, I did plant some okra, and I did get a little bit of okra to grow.
It does grow well down here.
The thing with me is I would start off a garden doing good, and then the weeds would start taking over because we would get rain and the drainage. I never could get good drainage. And we even dug like out to the ditch trying to get the drainage better.
We worked that land as much as possible, and we had to give up.
And then whenever it was muddy, I couldn't get in there, and then the weeds would start to take over. And then once it started getting too hot, I didn't want to be in the heat. Let's see. Arrow Lover says, I love okra. Haven't had it in many, many years, though. Yeah, slimy's no good.
And some people like the slimy.
Yeah, some people do like it slimy. Let's see. Cheryl says, okra rolled in cornmeal and fried. Yeah, that's one of the popular ways to eat okra is fried.
And our cornmeal is how we do our seafood.
Let's see. Julie says, not a fan of okra. Heidi with the I says, I am up in Wisconsin. I found it grows really, really well with my sunflowers. Yeah, it does get tall, like sunflowers. Oh, you eat it boiled too, Janet? All right. So next thing, we talk about gumbo beignets. It's basically just a pastry dough with powdered sugar on top.
Think fried donut.
Yeah, it's really good. And Cafe Du Monde in New Orleans is really known for the beignets. And they have their own special blend coffee and king cake.
Yep, those are our traditions.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up a picture. I don't know if all of y'all have seen a king cake before, but at Mardi Gras time, this is a tradition. And you can see some pictures of it. And you can put different fillings. Like sometimes you see it with cream cheese.
Chocolate or cinnamon.
Yeah,
or vanilla.
Pecan praline, or you can just get the traditional plain with no filling. And there's a tradition where they put a little plastic baby in the king cake. And whoever would get the piece with the baby would have to buy the next king cake
for the next year's Mardi Gras.
Yeah. But the thing is, people were swallowing the baby. So now they don't put it inside, they leave it out usually. That way you can kind of put it in yourself. If you want to. But that became a problem with the baby. But yeah, king cake is good. I one time made king cake cupcakes. But like I know like when you make a king cake you like braid the dough. Janet's laughing about the hairy Oprah.
Yep, it's an unusual vegetable.
That reminds me of what's her name? I cannot think of her name or her channel name. But there's one content creator. She always talks about hairy men.
I'm not saying nothing.
Let's see. Heidi with an I says, put blood meal powder. Do you mean cornmeal? Around them, the squirrels will leave them alone.
That sounds more like a gardening tip than cooking.
Yeah, I'm not a good gardener. I have a black thumb. Hi Lydia, how are you? So happy to see you. What you been working on? Let's see. Yep, GrannyDee, Cafe Du Monde should be known for all the powdered sugar on the floor. Haha, I love the cream cheese king cake. I love getting the baby. But you know, that kind of reminds me, what was that restaurant that they would have the peanuts and everyone would throw the peanuts on the ground?
Was it Logan's Roadhouse?
I think so, or something like that.
I'm sure someone will tell us.
Heidi with an I says, not a problem. I use it around all my plants. Rabbits and squirrels won't touch it, but you have to reapply here and there. We got squirrels in our yard. Our cats love to watch the squirrels and the birds. Oh, king cake is yummy. All right, have a good day, GrannyDee. All right. Oh, Lydia says she's working on punch needles. Okay, Charity says it is Logan's Roadhouse. Hi, Demetria. How are you? Glad to see you. What you working on? Yeah, it's funny. The first time I went to Logan's, it was like, I'm like, are you sure it's okay to drop this on the floor? Because, I worked in restaurants, and, as a waitress, you did not like it when there were spills on the floor. Let's see, Julie says in Wisconsin, we had Jackson's Clinic with the peanuts on the floor. Heidi with an E says outdoor gardens I rock at, inside plants. I wish I was good with plants. I do. I want them, but they don't last with me. I was thinking Texas Roadhouse. I was thinking like Logan's in Texas. Ooh, Janet's working on a shawl. Nice. And Demetrius knitting a pair of socks. Sweet. And Julie's working on chevron red and black red heart. All right. And then there's andouille sausage.
Andouille.
And that's basically a smoked sausage using pork. And it typically has like larger chunks of meat in it. Andouille's good.
Andouille is a very interesting thing here. Let me get my mic because I got to get close. Andouille started as a hybrid, believe it or not, and I've had to look this up for myself because I want to be accurate. The Germans, the Italians, and the French all had some form of smoked meat, but it didn't happen to become andouille until it became here in Louisiana, when the Germans out of some areas in Cajun country, it's not important where, they all got together and they all had the same thing, and they realized the commonality of it. And that is where andouille came in. Now, I don't know what andouille is a portmanteau of, but it is a combination of French words combined with German words, and that's where andouille came from.
You know what, Biscuit? Talk Cajun.
Pourquoi? Pourquoi je mange Cajun? I know I messed that up, and it's been so long since I spoke the language.
Sometimes you can get that good accent when you talk.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Heidi, with an I. I really appreciate that. This one's for you, Heidi, with an I, that is.
C'est pour voir, Heidi. More practice.
I hit the wrong video. Okay, this is for you.
Thank you for sending Connie the super chat. Yay! Connie got a super chat. Thank you.
Thank you again for the super chat. So now at the end, we will be picking 4 people to get 5 extra entries. All right, let's see. Beverly's doing an oblong granny stitch throw. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, Cheryl says Fat Cats in San Luis Obispo.
San Luis Obispo.
See, he can pronounce stuff I can't.
It's south of the border. I think somewhere in Acapulco. I could be mistaken.
Has andouille sausage gravy and biscuits. Best ever. Ooh, that sounds yum yum.
Now, it's important to notice andouille can be both beef, chicken, and pork. But when it comes to pork, tasso is exclusively a pork loin, or not really a side brisket, but it's basically a specialty pork smoked meat.
Yep. So now we've talked about tasso.
Yeah, I just had to throw that out there.
Yeah. I kind of made a list of the foods that I had for keywords on my birthday bash giveaway. That way we could make sure we talked about all of those, because a lot a lot of y'all were having questions or said y'all never heard of this. So we're trying to make sure now y'all know more about it. And hopefully y'all like that we did this live on this topic. Let's see. Heidi with an E says West Phillion ham and smoked sausage. Nice. And we have Debbie here. Howdy, howdy, Debbie. So glad to see you. What you working on? Y'all like the super chat video? I sped up me and Frank's voice to sound like the chipmunks. Let's see. Julie says that she has neighbors that speak Creole Cajun.
Now, Creole and Cajun are two separate languages. The Creole side is mostly New Orleans, and though, well, there's a little bit of a thickness there that I don't really want to get into here. But when it comes to Cajun, it's important to notice that the Cajuns are mostly the exiles from Nova Scotia, as opposed to those who are in New Orleans or have descendants that go back to the foundation of Spanish Louisiana.
See, the biscuit is very knowledgeable. Oh, Cheryl, Mumble must be into something. Mumblebee. Let's see. Heidi says, I will be starting the scarf pattern from you tomorrow or maybe later tonight. Ooh, nice. I want to see it when you're done. And for those I don't know, I do a finished projects video approximately the 15th of every month. So you can send your pictures of your finished makes, or you can also send other type of stuff that brings you joy. Maybe it's flowers, gardening, baking, whatever it is. And I am going to be late on March's video. I have not started working on it yet. Hopefully I can get it out hopefully tomorrow, but I have my bingo tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I'll get it out sometime at least next week. Let's see. Yep, we got good food down in Homa. We're Homa girls. Let's see. Janet says Hillshire Farm Cajun style and Dooley smoked sausage at Walmart. And Moonrose says, I'm trying to figure something out with the sock yarn. I'm a size 1.75 hook. Are you trying to make socks with it or something else with it? Hold up. Heidi, let's see. Did I overlook it? Oh, I'm sorry. Now I see it. Thank you so much, Beverly. I really appreciate the super chat. This one's for you, honey.
Thank you for sending Connie the super chat. Yay! Connie got a super chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Beverly. I appreciate that. And we're now at 5 people that will get 5 extra entries at the end of the live. All right, where did I leave off? Debbie says crabs too, just don't get pinched by a crab. Oh yeah. That's one thing I really miss about Homa, how easy it was to get seafood. Like everyone had seafood. You just brought it up and it was like, oh yeah, this person's selling seafood. Here it's like the main place is a place like going towards Walmart that they have someone sell it. But I don't think there's really anyone else in my town that really sells it. Julie's saying our neighbors combine the two influently. Oh, awesome. And Janet's still working on the Nothing But a Biscuit beanie, named after the biscuit.
Oh,
I want to see that too when you're done. Let's see. They have a new lane open on that bridge now. Which bridge, Debbie? D. Marie wants the food sent. I wish I could. Alrighty. So another thing too that we'll eat here in Louisiana is frog legs and alligator, and typically it's mostly like fried that you see it eaten.
And that's where the cornmeal comes into play.
Mm-hmm. And both of them basically taste like chicken. And yes, I have eaten both. One time my dad caught an alligator, and I think my mom must have served it up, cooked it. And that was like our first time trying it. Then we have poi boys, which is basically a sandwich, like a sub roll. And typically you have the roast beef, ham, or seafood. But really, it's a sandwich, a sub sandwich.
It's not exactly a sub sandwich, but it's
similar.
Very much similar. It's just a softer bread, not as much sugar, not as sweet, and it's kind of more crusty on the outside.
Yeah, roast beef poi boys are good. All right, have a good day, Moon Rose. And everyone hears us okay? I want to make sure.
Yeah, me too.
I know earlier y'all said y'all did. Yep, Julie, I named it. Well, originally it was Ain't Nothing But a Biscuit Beanie, but it was too long for Ravelry, so I had to take the ain't off. Cheryl saying nope to frog legs and gator. Heidi with an E has had frog legs but never alligator.
Now, if you're taking just the meat itself, like say alligator or catfish type thing, you're not going to really notice that much of a nasty flavor. Like for example, frog legs. I mean, if you can get past the fact that it's an amphibian, it basically tastes like a more gamey chicken.
Yeah, it has that game taste to it.
And we love our game down here. We do.
Demetria says, I've had gator nuggets and poi boy sandwiches in Florida. Would love to visit Louisiana. Oh, yeah, and Louisiana's very flat. Now, up north, it gets a little hilly, but like south and central,
we're
flat.
More swampland down here, and this is where we live. We live off the land.
Beverly likes alligator, but not frog legs. Okay, Angela says she hears us fine. Hold up a second. Sorry about that. It's like with the weather, the wind and everything, my allergies have been acting up more. So I had to cough. Demetria says did not have the opportunity to eat frog legs, but I guess wouldn't mind it. And Heidi says you have never driven through Ohio or Nebraska. Very flat and very boring. Now, actually, we have been
we've been through Nebraska. Oh yes.
Frank used to be a truck driver, and he went through a lot of the states. I rode on the rig with him too. So I've been through a lot of the states too. All right, what do you mean about below sea level, Demetria?
You talk about New Orleans?
Oh yeah, New Orleans is below sea level. It's like a saucer. That's why it flooded like it did with Katrina. And the sad thing about Hurricane Katrina, initially New Orleans made it out okay because they were announcing it on the radio that everything seemed fine in New Orleans. And then after the hurricane passed, the levee breached. And then that's whenever everything happened. Yep, parts of Louisiana are below sea level. Yep, flood, flood, flood. Hi, Mandy. How are you today? So happy to see you. So happy to see everyone. What you been working on? And then we also tend to like putting Tabasco on our foods, which is a hot sauce. And Tabasco, the plant is in New Iberia.
And it's available nationwide, I think.
Yeah, I think it is too. And me and Frank have visited the Tabasco plant. It's really pretty out there because like part of the island, they call it Avery Island, and very scenic. And actually, at times, some of my intro pictures have been taken from Avery Island. But it's very beautiful out there. And with hot sauce, it's I think Tabasco is kind of more vinegary. You agree with me,
I
Frank?
wouldn't know about vinegary because there are some hot sauces out there that are nothing but vinegar.
Yeah.
There's something about that. I can't remember the exact name of the
It,
Tabasco pepper.
it
It's a
has
red
like
pepper,
a different taste.
and it's fermented more than. It's not done on such an industrial scale like other like say I can't say any names because I don't want to get anything in trouble here, but there are some hot sauces that they do this very quick fermentation and then they send it out to process. They douse it with vinegar, and that's not what Tabasco does.
But yeah, in New Iberia, they have like the store, and we had gone in the store.
Yeah, I highly recommend going there.
And another popular food is cracklins. And that's
let me kind of clarify here, Connie, because cracklins are not what you find. Cracklins are not pork rinds. Pork rinds are one of these air-blown, mass-produced. It's not. That's down here in Louisiana. What we do is we take sections of meat which are attached to the actual pork skin, and we deep fry it so hard that it becomes tougher than jerky, and it becomes a pork cracklin, which is where it gets its name from. And we have the seasoning, we have the onion powder, the garlic powder, and all that in there. It also has this very meaty texture throughout the bite. Yeah. And that is why we call it a cracklin, because when you bite into it, it crackles.
And I'm not the biggest fan of cracklins. I mean, I'll eat them, but I don't see what's so great about them. Some people really love them. Like the biscuit likes them.
We call them gratin.
Let's see. Heidi with an E says, I live in Lincoln, Nebraska. Once you get out of Omaha and Lincoln, it'll put you to sleep. Yeah, some areas, when you go across country, there's like nothing. And there was one part in Texas that we saw zebras.
Yep. Honest zebras.
Yep, zebras. Normally it's like cows and horses you see. Let's see. Heidi with an E says, I was on a plane coming back from Jamaica and we flew through the outer bands of Katrina. Not on my bucket list. Yeah.
Wow.
Katrina was nothing nice. And I was living in Homa at the time and we lucked out because it turned last minute. So it didn't hit us as bad as what was initially expected.
That reminds me of that time I went through Kansas. I literally had no idea how big that cornfield was, but man, it was huge.
Heidi says the cracklins aren't guts.
No, they're not. Now,
Yeah, it's the fat.
Now the old Cajuns used to use every part of the pig, every part of the cow, every part of the chicken, every part of everything. We have this stuff called ponce. It is not haggis. But if I were to describe it, you would think, well, it's haggis. Nope, it's not haggis. Haggis uses the lower intestines and other various portions of the sheep to make a meat out of. However, we lose
It's
anybody?
me.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that. I had paused my microphone. Y'all hear us now? All right, let's see.
So we good?
Yeah. Okay. What was the last thing y'all heard us saying? I know we were talking about cracklins. All right. Let me get the picture of cracklins up. All right. This is what the cracklins looks like. And like me, I don't see what's so great about cracklin. Frank was saying that it's kind of like beef jerky, but I think beef jerky is a lot better. That's my opinion.
And to each their own.
Yeah, we all like different things. And this is boudin. And boudin is basically a sausage casing with like rice dressing in it. It's good. We love our boudin. All right, so hopefully that covered everything from when I was muted. Let's see. Demetria says we cook pig's feet in Greek cuisine.
Oh, in Greek? Okay, because we do know that there are a demographic down here that does do that.
And Charity saying cracklins here in Virginia, it's very small and tough pork rinds.
All I'm gonna say is y'all doing it wrong, but I'll leave it at that.
We get feisty when it comes to our food, yeah.
and it's not very small. It's bite sized, but it's a bite.
It's like if it's not cooked our way, we get fussy. And that's where like the whole tomato thing in gumbo, because Cajuns are quick to say tomatoes do not belong in gumbo.
Now, to put things in perspective, I had seen this. This is jogging a memory of a show I had seen where supposedly those people in the Northeast, like where clam chowder is popular, they have the same argument over clam chowder with or without tomatoes. So if anybody in the chat wants to weigh in on that, I'd love to hear from you.
Sherry says she grew up on cracklins. Heidi, I'll take your word for it. That does not sound appetizing. But you know, I did like sauerkraut. I can't eat it anymore because it tears up my stomach. But but pig's feet, no. I can't do that. But it might really be good. Charity says in Missouri, my mom would call the leftover bits in the bacon grease cracklings.
Yep, that's where it came from.
Let's see. Ooh, Debbie had boiled shrimp yesterday. Lucky girl. All right, Julie, I hope you have a fabulous day. Hope to hear from you more soon. I've been missing you. Nope. Pig's knuckles. Nope. And then red beans and rice is another dish that's popular. But Connie does not like beans.
Neither does Frank.
So
I'm sorry, neither does the biscuit.
Yeah. So that's basically that. But yeah, if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask. But that pretty much covered all the dishes that I wanted to talk about. Demetrius says I do make my own sauerkraut and eat a little every day when I remember. What's funny is that I was always a picky eater. But then I would eat certain things that like a lot of people wouldn't eat. But stuff that people tend to eat, I'm like, ew. Ooh, Cheryl just found a recipe for Louisiana beignets. She's going to try to experiment.
Yeah, it should be easily duplicatable as long as you have either oil or maybe a decent air fryer.
And Demetrius says, I make lentils with rice. Very good. Sherry says, I love red beans and rice with hot water bread. Janet likes sauerkraut on hot dogs. I don't like hot dogs either. Like I said, I can be weird with certain things. Like, you know how a lot of times people don't like celery? I like celery as a kid, and I still do. I'll eat sardines.
Not me.
What's something else weird that I do with foods?
I can't think of anything.
But there are other things. I'm funny about the texture of foods. But yeah. You didn't like hot dogs either as a kid? Yeah, I don't like that. I know there's other things, but I can't think of them. Yeah, allergies you do have to be careful with. Yep. Yeah, but especially like whenever people have the EpiPens and stuff, that's scary. All right, I guess I'll go ahead and pick. Well, first I'll do the pattern giveaways, then I'll do the extra entries. So I'm going to be giving away one pattern from our Ravelry store. You can pick which pattern you want of mine. And let me get Mr. Nightbot back up. So I hope everyone enjoyed today's topic. That y'all enjoyed hearing about Louisiana and Louisiana foods. All right. All right. So the key word is going to be yum yum. Yum yum. Hold up. Here it is. Yum yum is the key word, all one word. And this is for one pattern from my Ravelry store. You get to pick which pattern. Yum yum. Hi, Cindy. How are you today? So happy to see you. What have you been working on? So happy to see you. You just have to type the keyword in the chat. And after a bit, I will pick randomly. Just type yum yum. And we'll pick the winner shortly. When do you cook those meals? It just depends.
Do you need a reason?
Just kind of when we're in the mood for it. Kind of like any other dish. Good. Glad y'all like the topic. I figured with so many people with the comments saying they weren't familiar with our foods or were asking questions, I figured this would be a good topic to do. And initially, I was going to do a video, and then someone asked if I could do a live so that everyone could interact and ask questions. So that's when it became a live.
And I do hope that I answered questions in a ways that people could at least somewhat understand the answers.
And y'all got to interact with the biscuit more.
Yeah, sorry I can't be on camera, but that's just not possible.
Yeah, his back is hurting, and he's a lot more comfortable where he's sitting at right now.
Not really all that much. My back's hurting right now.
Yeah, but he would be more uncomfortable. And I hope y'all enjoyed hearing from the biscuit today. Hello, HD. How are you? So glad you're here. And what are you working on? If you want to be entered for one of my patterns in my Ravelry store, type yum yum. Yum yum. Yum 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 yum. All one word, like it is on the screen. Y'all making Cheryl snort again? All right, let's see. All right, I'm going to start counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and good luck. Congratulations, Charity with Frog Crochet wins a pattern from me. One of my patterns. Let me write this down. All right. And I'll do one more. No, I'll do two more people. Congratulations, Sherry. Crochet and Knitting Addiction with Sherry won a pattern from our Ravelry store. And the last person, Heidi Masato. Heidi with an E. All right. All right. So what I need y'all to do is send me an email at justanotherstitch2020@gmail.com. If you know what pattern you want, let me know in the email. If not, once you email me, I'll send you the link to my Ravelry store, and then you can let me know which pattern you want. And I send the pattern in it's a PDF file. Now, if you want it sent to Ravelry, I can do that too. Just let me know in the email. But typically I send it via email. All right. Yeah, if y'all can, I do a video approximately the 15th of every month. I'm going to be late this month. I have not started on it yet. And then tomorrow I have my bingo live. But when you make your makes, if you send me pictures, I'll include it in my joy video. And you can also do makes. You can also send pictures of anything that brings you joy. It doesn't just have to be makes. You know, it could be something you baked, cooked, gardening, flowers, decorations, pets. And speaking of bingo, bingo is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you haven't signed up and you want to play, be sure to sign up on that video. There's a video for the sign-ups. Ah, they're happy that you came live, Bisky.
Thank you so much.
Let's see. Yeah, the voice of the biscuit. Alrighty. So now we're going to do some more extra entries. Let's see. Just bear with me while I get everything set up. All right. The keyword is delicious. And I will be drawing 5 people. 5 people to get 5 extra entries into Morch's giveaway. Five people. 5 extra entries. And the keyword is delicious. Delicious. Hi, Cheryl B. How are you doing today? So happy you joined us. And let us know what you've been working on. Yep, bingo is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. You know, I've heard people have more whips than that, Heidi. You know, everyone's different with the whips. Some have more than others. Some have less. Now, where you got to be careful is when your whips become UFOs. All right, delicious is the keyword. There's 13 entries. All right, I'm going to count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and good luck. Congratulations, Cheryl Smith. You get 5 extra entries. All right, next, Janet gets 5 extra entries. And Charity with Frog Crochet gets 5 extra entries. Congrats, Charity. Okay, got it. And Debbie Grabert. Congratulations, Debbie Grabert. You get 5 extra entries. And the last person, Crochet and Knitting Addiction with Sherry. Congratulations, you get 5 extra entries also. All right, so that was Cheryl Smith, Janet, Charity with Frog Crochet, Debbie Grabert, and Crochet and Knitting Addiction with Sherry. Woohoo! Congrats, congrats. All righty. So, Mr. The Biscuit, do you have any more knowledge you want to give to everyone? Any words of wisdom?
No, I think that's going to do it.
You don't have any words of wisdom?
Not particularly.
All righty. So he has no words of wisdom today. All right. So the replay word, I'm going to pick 2 people to get 5 extra entries on the replay. And the keyword is Cajun. Cajun is the replay word. Wait until the live ends and the chat opens, and that's where you need to enter it. Not in the chat right here where we're chatting at. Yeah, this is for everybody, Dee Marie. The giveaway is for everybody. Yeah, anybody can enter my monthly giveaways. And every video I do, I give extra chances to get extra entries. Every time I go live, same thing, and the replay. And everybody can enter for the extra entries on everything. Okay. Ooh, Bisky, Charity's going to make something for you.
Ooh. Well, you're going to make me chirp like a cat is watching. How about that?
All right. So I think that covers everything. Yeah. And I appreciate everyone that watches my videos. So yeah, I love interacting with y'all. So, ooh, you're making a basket. Nice. I like to talk. Just ask Frank.
Yep.
I can talk your ear off, huh, Frank?
And I'll listen.
What's your favorite color, Biscuit? I don't
Usually black, gray, sometimes green.
He says black, gray, green. All right. So this is for my Stitchin UFO and Stitchin Alien members. All right, and I think GrannyDee should be live now. So go Alien Invade her. And I hope everyone has a fabulous yarny day. Be the light. Always remember to be the best, sparkly you that you can be. Be cool, be kind, and ooh la la, everyone. Come on, everyone. Ooh la la. All right. Bye, everyone.